Told y'all I'd be back. I'm back. I'm here to get y'all through the first and second rounds of the big dance. The first round about to wrap up. We got 3 games going on. Well, I say 3 games, but the Gonzaga game is not a game anymore. It's a massacre. 74-35. BYU has closed the gap just a tad on UCLA. It is now 45-39. It was an 11-point lead at halftime. Now it's only a 6-point lead. Texas opening up a small lead on Abilene Christian, 28-23. My brackets, they don't look terrible. It did take a couple of hits, but no bracket busters. Fortunately, Kansas didn't get upset. That would have busted my brackets, but I didn't have Ohio State going very far at all. So, yeah, JCP in the house, Pizza Woman in the house. Yeah, a lot of blowouts, a lot of upsets too. So, welcome to the madness, guys. Welcome to the madness. And staying true to form, I am trying to keep up with it the best I can. I've done, I think, a total of 5 or 6 live shows since the beginning of the first 4 games in. So shout out to my wife for putting up with me for going live so many times. She's a trooper. Y'all need to know that. She's a trooper. She had a long day, so she's already fallen asleep. But still want to give a shout out to her. What's going on, everybody? Took my 20-30 minute break. Emptied the bladder. Got some food in me. Got some more caffeine. I'm ready to blast through these last little bit of these games. All right, so the Abilene Christian game. Hold on. The Abilene Christian Texas game is at halftime, so I'm going to switch this over to, I guess, the BYU. Let's see, Norfolk State, no thanks, that's a blowout. There we go. Nope, VCU Oregon, that is not even going to happen. I wonder if they switched that over. Hold on, guys. Since that game didn't even happen. Come on. Or maybe they stuck with the Texas Abilene Christian. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, so many streams right now. Well, now y'all know how serious I am about this. Well, y'all probably already know, but it's not even serious. It's an obsession. Like, I'm telling you the truth. Sports is an obsession with me. And that's the whole reason why I started this YouTube channel. Because really, my family was like, God dang, every conversation at least sprinkled in a little bit of sports in there. So they're like, you need an outlet. Go start a YouTube channel. That's what I did. So if you enjoy what I do, then thank my family. They're the ones that really got me started, especially my 2 brothers. They were the ones that, did the whole application to YouTube, all that stuff, got the cameras, got the lights, got this thing rolling. I'm just the mouth. I'm just the obsessed ones. They're the ones that are actually responsible for getting this thing started. So, really, if you want to thank anybody, depending on how much you actually enjoy the channel, those are the people you really need to thank. And also my wife who puts up with me. So, I'm trying to find, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I can't find the UCLA BYU game. Gonzaga and Norfolk State, that's a blowout. But since it's halftime at the other one, I might stick with that. Man, that's a blowout. 85-37. That's got to be the biggest blowout so far. Unless they can somehow close the gap. But I don't see that happening. But at least Norfolk State, they got the win over App State. So that's more than some people can say. Yes, hit that like button, if you will. a lot of people think that when you hit the like button, it's for the YouTube personality's ego. It's really not. What it does is it helps the algorithm for YouTube to get this particular video suggested so we can have a bigger audience, because it'll get suggested to other people, then they click on it, they hit like, so it really just helps build an audience. So that like button isn't just to say that you like the channel, it's your way of contributing to building the bigger audience. So hit the like button, and that's what helps build the audience to get this thing suggested. So yeah, I appreciate that, Rise. You're trying to do your part. You hit that like button. If you have anything in particular you want me to discuss at length, send me a super chat. Doesn't have to be much, $1, $2, whatever. All that goes straight to my channel, Golden Blue Dude. YouTube does not touch it. I'm sure y'all are familiar with that. If y'all have been watching YouTube, everybody has that super chat option. So, if you want to do that, that's cool. But right now, I'm watching this blowout only because Abilene Christian and Texas are at halftime, and I can't find the UCLA BYU. Anybody got suggestions on what channel that particular game is on? I got updates pulled up here. It looks like BYU falling back again. They're back down by 11, so all that bragging I did on BYU is looking really, really bad. I was saying that they could be a Final Four sleeper because they played Gonzaga very well whenever they did play Gonzaga. But another thing is that people don't realize is West Virginia actually played Gonzaga the best. Now, I'm not saying that's going to translate into West Virginia making a deep run, but if West Virginia shoots the way they did against Morehead State and how they've been shooting, they can make a deep run. And back whenever we played Rise, yeah, dude, you would super chat if you could. If y'all aren't familiar, he's of the younger variety, so he would have to use his mom's credit card, and we don't even try to sneak that, man. You're good. You support the channel, trust me. But yeah, West Virginia actually had Oscar Tshiebwe the last. Whoa, my gosh, a circus shot by Norfolk State. I think this is going to be an and 4. And 1. I think he got fouled on the 3-point. Was he behind the line? Hold on. Yes, he was. And they called the foul. This could be a 4-point play for Norfolk State. So, yeah, they're getting blown out. But this could be a highlight of the game. 4-point play completed. It is now 88-43. I do not smell a comeback. That's not what I'm saying. But that's a rare play in basketball. That would be probably to the equivalent of a triple play in baseball, something like that. 4-point play. 4-point play at for Norfolk State. Rise got exposed to COVID, so everybody pray for Rise. Make sure he doesn't have any terrible symptoms. Which I had it a while back, but I was fine. It was like the mild flu. But, people that are older or have weakened immune systems could compromise, something along the lines of the flu, stuff like that. Pneumonia. It can get bad. So, yeah. Hope you get through it, A-okay. BYU now down by 9. So, the Cougars are trying to make runs here and there on UCLA, but it just seems like the Bruins have an answer for them every time they make that run. Norfolk State is playing some good defense right now. Nice fast break, swings it out to the 3, pump fake, and he makes it. That's nice. Norfolk State 9, I believe it's 9 answered points. No, 10 answered points. So the blowout shrinking just a little bit. I still don't smell a comeback. Yeah, I should have picked Florida over Virginia Tech, but I didn't. You live and learn. It looks like Gonzaga will definitely go over 100 points, though. This is a... big-time block by Gonzaga. Big-time block. And... then they airballed a 3. Can't get cocky. Wide open for a three. Norfolk State misses it. Trying to make comeback. Sports Pride in the house. What's going on, bud? Special thanks to Ray Finkel's in my earlier live show, a $20 super chat. That was awesome. I appreciate that. And at the shot clock buzzer, Gonzaga drains another three. They're still shooting their threes. West Virginia has to take on Syracuse and that 2-3 zone in the round of 32 tomorrow. And I think West Virginia will beat Syracuse probably by 9, 11 points like that. Syracuse will keep it close-ish, but that defense actually benefits the way West Virginia likes to score right now. If you know anything about the 2-3 zone, the soft spot is in between the baseline and the three-point line, and West Virginia shoots those jump shots nicely. And what they can do is they can start knocking down. If they can start knocking down those jump shots, which I think they can, what they can do is they can try to get that defense to collapse down to the post and then kick it back out to the threes. And we have excellent three-point shooters. Miles McBride, Taz Sherman, Sean McNeil. Three excellent three-point shooters. Jalen Bridges showed a little something in that last game against Morehead State. By the way, earlier in my live chat, nobody pointed out this mistake that I made, but I remembered it. So earlier I said something about Shaka Smart because of the Abilene Christian Texas game. And for some reason I said that he used to coach Wichita State. That is incorrect. He used to coach VCU. So I don't know if y'all caught that. I caught it for myself, and I like to make sure that I correct myself if I do correct a mistake. And trust me, it doesn't hurt my feelings if I make a mistake and you guys catch it and I correct myself. It's all good. Just wanted to make that known that I did indeed catch that mistake, and I caught it, and we're good. The audience building just a little bit. We're up to 9 right now, so y'all make sure to hit that like button. Cater to that YouTube algorithm, and we'll get some more people in here watching, having fun, watching basketball, talking crap if you want to. It's all good. I don't know if y'all don't know what's going on with Ohio State, but a bunch of bad stuff is going on with the Buckeyes because they lost to Oral Roberts. That fan base is taking it way too far. They are death threatening the dude that missed those free throws. They're talking trash. There's some guys that are actually transferring out of Ohio State because they officially don't feel safe. The coach might get bought out. It's turning into a dangerous situation there in Columbus, Ohio. So the fans over there at Ohio State are not doing a very good job of handling a bad loss. Yes, it was a bad loss. Yes, you're going to be emotional. But there comes a point where you need to, realize what's really important. Basketball is basketball. A human life is way more valuable than a win. Well, y'all see it from Rise, man. He said if you don't hit that like button, you're going to be grounded. Don't make me call your mom. Hit that like button. Yeah, I agree. Players getting death threats from that should be behind us. I can't believe there's still, immature fans that take it to that extreme. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, good point, JCP. So, tomorrow's games. I got my board right behind me. So, we got Baylor, Wisconsin. That might actually be a really good game. Wisconsin looked really good against North Carolina. And then, Baylor's Baylor, even though, let's be honest, ever since Baylor had those COVID issues, they haven't looked as good. So, that could turn into a nail-biter. We got Villanova, North Texas. North Texas already upset Purdue. And to be honest with you, I thought Purdue was a better team than Villanova. So, if North Texas keeps playing the way they played, they could end up in the Sweet 16. The game of the day, though, could be Texas Tech and Arkansas. That game right there could be the best game of the day. Thanks for stopping by, Pizza Woman. You have a good night. We'll see you later. Um, Texas Tech, Arkansas. That could be the game of the day. You got Chris Beard's defense at Texas Tech, and they have a decent offense. And then you have Arkansas and a great offense, and they like to press you half court. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. Ballard Sports Media in the house. That's another YouTuber that I know of. Go check out his YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. He's got some good stuff. He's an Alabama fan, but he's a cool one. Florida, Oral Roberts. That could be an interesting matchup, but I think Florida will handle Oral Roberts, and then it'll just make that loss by Ohio State, that much worse. So I think Florida will handle them. And then in the lower bracket, we have Illinois, Loyola Chicago. That has potential upset written all over it. One thing that people don't realize about that is that's actually two Illinois-based universities going at it. So that'll be a lot of guys that know each other. Oregon State and Oklahoma State. I have the Cowboys in that one, but right now the Beavers, I love that mascot, the Beavers. They're really hot right now. I think they're on like a 5 or 6 game win streak, so you can't count them out. But I do think that Tennessee had way too high of a seed, so I think that Oklahoma State's good to go. I think they'll get the victory. Then we have an old Big East rivalry renewal, and that's Syracuse and West Virginia. And I do think West Virginia holds the edge on that one. Syracuse doesn't have a particularly dangerous offense, and West Virginia has the type of offense that is perfectly catered to break that 2-3 zone that Syracuse likes to run. So if I had to make an actual score guess on that one, I'm going to say West Virginia wins that one something like 79-68, 79-67. I think they win comfortably. I think it will look like a close game for a long time, and then there at the end, they'll foul whatever, and it'll balloon to a double digit. So I think West Virginia wins, 9, 10, 11 points, something like that. And then the last game, Rutgers Houston. Who really freaking knows? Rutgers came in at like 15-11. Houston has lost. They have a great record. Houston does, but they also lost to East Carolina and Tulsa. So who really knows about that one? I really don't. And then on the other side, we have all but one matchup decided. And it'll be the winners of UCLA, BYU, and Abilene Christian. So I won't talk about that one. That's the only matchup. But at the top, we'll have Gonzaga and Oklahoma. Of course, I think Gonzaga holds the edge. But the thing about Oklahoma is if they play like they did mid-season form, and they played okay against Missouri today, but still not what I've seen from Oklahoma. If they played like that, they would have a chance to beat Gonzaga. But if they play like they've been playing recently, I think Gonzaga can win by 15 points. So that's what I'm going to call. I think Gonzaga wins by 15. Creighton, Ohio. I actually think Ohio will continue their Cinderella run and beat Creighton. Creighton is very up and down. They have dominated in a few games, but if you go back and look at their wins, there's several eyebrow-raising wins where you're like, they actually could have lost that, including today. They barely survived UCSB. So I think Ohio will do it again and knock them out. Then you have USC and Kansas. Eastern Washington made it close for a little bit, but all in all, Kansas has much more depth. I'm still going to take Kansas. I have them going to the Final Four. I'm going to roll with them. Oregon, Iowa, that's going to be a great game. I think Oregon has a very good chance of beating Iowa, except they didn't get to play today. So, will they acquire more rust? So, I think I might actually go with Iowa on that one. They looked fairly good today, and Iowa acquires another another few days of rust. So I'm going to take Iowa out of that one. Michigan, LSU. I'm actually going to take LSU out of that one. Michigan don't have Livers, and who was it? Hutchinson rolled his ankle today, so he might not be 100%. So I'm actually going to take LSU over Michigan. That LSU offense looks amazing. Colorado, Florida State. Florida State looked okay. Colorado looked amazing. So I'm going to go by what my eyeballs tell me, and I'm going to take Colorado. Of course, I don't know who's going to win. I don't know the winners of UCLA, BYU, Abilene Christian, Texas, so I can't really make a prediction on that. And Alabama, Maryland. I think Alabama is just clicking on all cylinders today. I know Iona put up more of a fight than I expected, but I think Alabama will be Alabama, or what we've seen this year, and move on. So Gonzaga just won, so I actually need to fill them in. I need to fill them in real quick. All right, so only 2 games left, and it's 2 games that will the winners will play each other. So, literally determining a matchup for the round of 32. So, let me get your guys' opinion. What turn of events stunned you the most, excluding Oral Roberts beating Ohio State? Who's looked really good? Who's looked way worse than you thought? You know, stuff like that. 2 things. I would say the Pac-12 has stunned me. They have looked way better than what I realized. Specifically, Colorado and Oregon State. Those 2 teams look really, really good. So, for me, that would be my 2 cents. What's the best song ever? Man. For me, it would have to be Journey. Don't Stop Believing. That has to be one of the best songs ever made. Seriously. Most important for my bracket tomorrow, I would have to say the USC Kansas. Eastern Washington put up a much bigger fight than I anticipated. Kansas did win comfortably, but yeah, I think Kansas is going to be a definite step up in competition for Kansas, and I do have Kansas going to the Final Four. So, yeah, that's a very important game for my brackets. They were the team that I thought could give Gonzaga the biggest issues, but if they don't get there, then they can't do it. So it's all about matchups. Yeah, Villanova now has 3 starters out. They got to play North Texas. That's another reason why I'm picking North Texas to win that. And I think Purdue was a better team than Villanova. So I think North Texas will be a Sweet 16 team. I think we'll actually have 2 13 seeds in the Sweet 16. North Texas and Ohio. Yeah, because the other 2 got knocked out. So I think the 2 13s that are left will get into the Sweet 16, North Texas and Ohio. I'm actually more confident in Ohio because of how they looked. But, North Texas looked good too. And plus Villanova, their starters. Not good. Let me change it over to this other channel real quick, guys. Let's see. Might be the right one. Nope. I guess we'll go back to the Abilene Christian Yeah, there were a lot of upsets this year, but it was because of what I said whenever the brackets were announced. The seeding was way off. Way off. Um, I mean, Tennessee being a 5 seed, that was ridiculous. Ohio State a 2 seed. No, I had them as a 3 or 4 seed. I thought Georgia Tech and Loyola Chicago should be way higher seeded. Unfortunately, two good teams got matched up in the first round because of bad seeding. So the biggest surprise was the seeding issues and the Big Ten getting 9 teams in. They should not have had 9 teams in, 7 at the most. Biggest upset tomorrow. I'm still gonna stick with the 13s being the 5, beating the 5. Creighton over or Ohio over Creighton or North Texas over Villanova. I don't know what the lines are right now. I don't know if they've come out or not. So whatever bigger line for both of those teams would be the biggest upset I would call. I really don't think Oral Roberts is going to beat Florida. I truly don't. Um, Oregon State over Oklahoma State. That could be an interesting game because of how hot Oregon State is. Oklahoma State's definitely a better team than Tennessee, without a doubt, especially at the end of the year. And then Rutgers over Houston. That could be an upset that people are not looking for because Houston is they have people forget they have gotten beat, and I know I'm beating this drum over and over, but they have gotten beat by some bad teams. East Carolina, Tulsa, those are not good teams. So they've proven they can be beat by, way lesser opponents. So can't count out Rutgers because of Houston. They're not dependable. Hog says, I'm going to disagree with you on that, Golden Blue Dude. I have to say, if you ever have a chance to do the mock selection committee, do it, and I promise you it will change your mind about the seating. I understand what you're saying about the rules. You mentioned about the 1 through 4 protected, and then you got to do region based, less travel for the degree of what seed you are. But another thing about this year, though, is that region didn't really play a factor. You didn't have teams having to go out west or having to go out east. Everybody was in the same region. So if there was an excuse for bad seating, this would not be the year. This would be the opposite of that as far as that goes. Maybe in a normal year, where there's actual regions like that, but even then you still got to watch it. But I understand there's rules that people don't understand, and it's not just about how good a team is. You got to take into consideration, protecting those top four seeds and, actual region based. I get all that, but Loyola. Here's my biggest example: Loyola Chicago being I think, was it an 8 seed or a 9 seed? I mean, to me, that's just straight up ridiculous. They finished in the top 25 in the nation in the AP top 25. How does that translate into anything outside of a top 5 seed? Personally, I would have had them as a 4 seed, maybe a higher caliber 5 seed. And if you really want to shaft them, a 6 seed. But an 8 seed, that's nonsense. I would have to say the same thing with Georgia Tech. I mean, they were on a tear. They had just won the ACC, and the committee acted like they had barely gotten in with that 8 or 9 seed, whatever it was. So it was little stuff like that, and then Tennessee being a 5 seed, and West Virginia and Oklahoma State. And this is my own team. I think my own team, West Virginia, got too high of a seed. I had them as a 4 seed and Oklahoma State as a 3 seed. But for whatever reason, that was flipped around. And then, way too many Big 10 teams in. Way too many. I don't care if it ends up being, Rutgers versus Maryland in the Final Four. That would still not convince me that they made the right decision because, teams can get hot at the right time. It happens. You have to go by resume, wins and actual losses instead of, they had some good wins in there. Yeah, but what does their record look before you get to that point? The good wins should be the tiebreaker, not, a team with 3 wins over 500 gets in with a team that's 26-4, Belmont, just because they have wins that look great. I don't agree with that. I don't. Now, if Belmont had something like a 20-9 record or a 20-10 record, then that's fine. But 26-4 versus a 15-12 team, who finished eighth in the Big Ten. Belmont finished first in the Ohio Valley, got to the Ohio Valley Championship and lost. I think that's punishing Belmont way too much. That's just my opinion. So, it is what it is, though. And my counter argument for the quad one win thing that you're saying as far as basing seeding on, how long has the quad one thing existed? Not very long. So to me, that was created to kind of split hairs whenever teams are super tight with their resumes. I don't think it was created for actual seeding. Like if you had two teams that had similar wins and losses, then you can go to who got quad win, how many quad wins, quad twos, or look how bad their losses were, stuff like that. I can understand if you would use that to determine that, but to determine actual seeding, you wouldn't use it quite as much as you would think. Like you wouldn't put in a team, say Belmont, probably who doesn't have any quad wins or quad one wins, right? But they have a great record, so they would get in the big dance, but not a very high seed because they didn't have that many quad, or any quad one wins. So it's kind of two sides of the same coin type of thing. You do use it to decide stuff, but for Loyola Chicago to get, that low of a seed, and they just killed Georgia Tech, so they're proving the committee wrong right off the bat. So really, that argument doesn't really hold water at this point. I think that's better as far as tiebreakers whenever things are close. To me, it's not close whether Loyola Chicago is an 8 or 9 seed. To me, it would seem close is Loyola Chicago a 5 or a 6 seed. In that scenario, then you might look at quad 1, quad 2 wins and be like, all right, they don't have as many quad 1 wins as this team, so we'll give them a 6 seed. Not dump them all the way down in an 8 or 9 seed. So I don't know if that argument's making any sense, but that's the way my brain handles it. Like, it's not determining a difference between 4 spots. I mean, Loyola Chicago passes the eye test, and they just whooped Georgia Tech, so that's for sure. But maybe depending on, one seed from one to the other. And maybe that's why West Virginia got the 3 seed and Oklahoma State the 4 seed. That actually helps your argument with that. So I can actually understand that. Maybe that is why West Virginia got the 3 seed. They had more quad 1 wins, and it doesn't matter that Oklahoma State, won the regular season 2 out of 3 and got to the Big 12 championship. That's how they split the hairs on that one. So for that argument, I would totally get it. That's why West Virginia got the 3 seed and Oklahoma State got the 4 seed because of the quad 1 wins. But for like the argument for Loyola Chicago, Georgia Tech, it doesn't make any sense because they vastly underseeded them. Same thing with Rutgers. Number one, well, Rutgers and Michigan State. Number one, I don't think they deserve to get in at all. And then number two, I know Michigan State was a playing game as an 11 seed, but to me, it was more like by the skin of their teeth. So more like a 13 seed or a 12 seed, something like that. Same thing with Rutgers. I think a 10 seed is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Rise. Oh, no, I'm not saying they have a perfect bracket. I'm just saying this particular year there was some glaring things that popped out. Um, I know it seems like I would probably be brutal on them every year because this is the first year that I've done it. But trust me, I've watched Selection Sunday for the past 25 years at least in a row. However long they've been doing it on the TV, I don't even know. Uh, but however long it's been, I've watched it every single year. And this was probably the most brutal reaction I've given uh, the selection committee. And in years past, you nitpick about things, and everybody's going to nitpick, and they're never going to get it perfect. So I get that argument, but I'm saying for this year, a lot of things were messed up, a ton of things. So that's why I was a little more adamant about it this year because there was so many things that they messed up. It wasn't just well, I think they could have put this team in rather than. There's always that, and that's why they did the quad one thing, so you can try to, narrow it down as best as you can as to who truly belongs and who doesn't belong. So, that's why they've created those extra quad one, quad two, quad three regulations, all that stuff. They're not going to get it perfect, and I'm not going to say that they are, and I'm not going to jump onto them for not being perfect. What I am saying is this year was just absolute craziness. And so Abilene Christian just made this basket, and this one small dude, after his teammate just made the basket, went to the other guy and flexed on him like he had done something, and he hadn't. So he's getting a little arrogant early in the, well, not early, but early-ish in this game for something he didn't even do. You gotta stay humble, especially at the beginning of the at the beginning. Looks like UCLA. Yeah, I see you, JCP. Looks like UCLA might pull this out. It's they're up by 11 with about a minute 15 left. BYU have to really pull something out of their rear end. I thought BYU was better than what they were because they were in the WCC, and every time they played Gonzaga, they played them better than most people did. Kansas got beat by 11, and that's about where BYU as far as scoring range goes on that. Minute 16 left to go in that, and BYU's down by 11, so there goes that. Exactly, Rice. He was basically flexing for nothing. His teammate hit the shot. It's early in the second half. You're a big-time underdog, and you're flexing on somebody. That makes no... Why would you want to try to rile them up? I mean, if you're about 20 maybe, and you had just made the shot, maybe. I mean, I get it. 18, 19, 20-year-olds are, much more into it than whenever you get a little bit older in life. But, I mean, that to me, that's just not smart. I actually try to think about consequences. I'm not going to react like that in the heat of the moment. My teammate just made a big shot. We're severe underdogs. We're only up by 3. It really didn't have anything to do with me, and I'm flexing on somebody. That doesn't make sense at all to me. Not at all. Yeah, Ohio State, no. There's a difference between being stupid and being ignorant and crazy. Ohio State fans right now are acting ignorant, and I'm not trying to lump all Ohio State fans into this category because I have some good Ohio State subscribers. So they know that I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these Ohio State fans that are sending death threats to this guy that missed some crucial shots there at the end. Death threats, trying to find out where he lives, and all that. He's for real scared. He's for real scared. That's just stupid. That's nonsense. It's probably somebody that's never played a sport in their life. You know, keyboard warrior who's got, you know, guts because, you know, he's behind a keyboard, and he's probably not even close to the size of the guy in real life. So you know, whenever you're behind that screen, you're tough guy talking crap and death threats. But the police really need to get that guy and get him to shut up. That's just plain annoying. It's stupid. It's ignorant, and it's giving your fan base a bad name. Because I know there's some really good Ohio State fans out there. They're not all dumb like that, but the media is going to take that and run with it, and you're going to make the rest of your fan base look stupid because you're doing something stupid. Maybe you're just trying to get your 15 minutes of fame because you know it's going to get to the media or whatever. It's still stupid because you could still end up in prison or jail for something dumb. So why do it? I don't understand it. Texas is not exactly doing great right now. They're in a little bit of trouble, and I actually did pick Abilene Christian in my brackets, so I'm kind of torn. I kind of want Abilene Christian to win because I picked them in my brackets, but I also want Texas to win to keep the Big 12 perfect. And Texas just airballed the shot. They are not doing good at all. They're not playing with any emotion, with any energy right now. Abilene Christian has all the emotion, all the energy right now. It's probably people who dropped out of school at 15, do YouTube, but they get no traction and they're wasting their lives. Yeah, I agree. It's people that have failed in life, so they're trying to bring other people down with them. If you notice, when other people try to bring you down or somebody else down, it's because they don't feel good about themselves. Or they've failed at something, or you know, they're not happy. So when they're not happy, they try to make you not happy as well. So yeah, everybody has. Basketball had the same rules as football. This year doesn't really count as far as eligibility. Seniors can come back for an extra year if they desire to. Texas players shaking up a little bit, I think. Oh. He probably got the wind knocked out of him or something because he landed straight on his back. But, oh. Tough dude. We'll see if that affects him. Well, he didn't come out, so I guess he's alright. I don't know. Or maybe it knocked him silly. Oh. Now, Abilene Christian needs to find that balance. I said a minute ago they were playing with more emotion and more energy, but that last possession they got out of control and shot an ill-advised shot. Yeah, you want to be aggressive and play with that emotion, but you don't want to get out of control. You still need to have your composure. So that showed some. Oh, another ill-advised thing, and you could tell he was not happy. He clapped his hands and probably said a curse word right there. So Abilene Christian a little frustrated and a foul early in the shot clock. So they are making some mistakes. Not good. I thought the Wildcats were rolling there for a little bit, and 2 possessions in a row they made some ill-advised shots. So maybe that emotion is getting the best of them right at this moment. So they need to settle down a little bit. This game is far from over. UCLA moves on, so it's time to write them in. The one marker that I need for them. Hold on, guys. There it is. We got it. Hey, turn your device down. I can hear that all the way in here. I could hear my kid's device all the way in here. I had to tell him to turn it down. And he needs to go to bed. He's still up. Dadgummit. Talk His Pit is in the house, man. I was wondering whenever you're gonna stop by, man. I haven't talked to you in a while, man. What's going on? You doing all right? He's actually one of the cool Pitt fans that I've met. Me and him are actually going to go to a couple of Pitt, West Virginia games. So, living proof that you can be bitter rivals, but still treat each other like human beings. So, the Ohio State fans that are treating that player like crap, it doesn't have to be that way. Stop being stupid. It's a game. It's a game. Even bitter rivals realize that the other person is a human being. So even though you hate their team, you don't hate the person. Two different things. I hate Pitt, but I don't hate Talk His Pit. He's actually a cool guy. Oh, yes, he is another YouTube channel creator that stops by. So check out his channel sometimes. I don't know if I shouted out Ballard Sports Media, but he stopped by earlier. Check out his channel. JCP Sports, he was on here earlier. Chase Me Crazy, he was on here earlier. Anybody that's on here that has a YouTube channel, I'll shout you out, no problem. On my actual pick, I had Abilene Christian. On my actual brackets, I had Abilene Christian. But I'm kind of torn. I kind of want Abilene Christian to win, because I picked them in my brackets, but at the same time, I kind of want Texas to win because that would keep the Big 12 undefeated. So, I don't know. How old is the guy that's my youngster who's still up? He's 6 years old, and he does like to stay up on weekends. It's approaching midnight, so if he's still up at midnight, I need to try to encourage him to go to bed. That's getting a little bit late. Working on new videos, Talk His Pit. I hear you, man. Yeah, fans think they know who should be hired and who shouldn't be. And, sometimes they don't agree with the hire, and then turns out the dude they hired having great success, and then the fans are okay with it. Oh yeah, that was a great hire. He's taking us to the promised land. So you just gotta take fan reactions with a grain of salt. It's the same morons in Tennessee that ran out Greg Schiano. I think Greg Schiano's a good coach. He did great at Rutgers there for a while. Not so great in the NFL, but it happens. I mean, look at Nick Saban. He didn't do great at Miami. So I think Tennessee really messed up there by the fans running Greg Schiano out. So that was just stupidity. Who do I think will finish first, second, third in the Big 12 basketball next year? Dang. Well, what a lot of people don't realize is West Virginia's a really young team. So I would still have them in the top three. But as far as 1, 2, and 3, I think Texas will take a step back. Cade Cunningham comes back for Oklahoma State, so I think they'll be fine. When I say Texas takes a step back, I don't mean a big step back. I just mean small step. I think Oklahoma will be middle of the pack. So if I had to rank them again, if the coach for Baylor stays at Baylor, I would still put them at number 1. Probably Oklahoma State 2 and West Virginia 3. With the possibility of West Virginia finishing second. So how about that? Well, the boss had a long day, so she's resting. So I'm gonna let her sleep. Plus, it is Saturday night, and I'm trying to keep up with these games. So it's just more of encouragement, more than whatever. But it's getting sort of late in this ball game, and Abilene Christian is holding to a small lead, and what I thought maybe could happen is happening. Abilene Christian, their defense is kind of frustrating Texas. If Texas can somehow figure out that Wildcat defense in these last 7 minutes, then they should be all right, but we'll see. Oh, I forgot about Kansas. No, yeah, I do think Kansas will be in the top 3. My bad. I would put I'll say 1 Baylor, 2 Kansas, 3 West Virginia. My bad. Third spot will be fought over by West Virginia, Oklahoma State. And I think Iowa State will make a big jump next year. I think they'll be up in the 4 or 5 range. So don't sleep on them next year. They had a terrible record this year, but they played everybody tough. They just couldn't find out how to win ball games. But I think next year they'll have that experience. They had a lot of young guys. I think Iowa State's going to be a surprise team next year. I really do. Oh, you've wondered if I have a job? Well, yeah, I have a job because I don't quite get paid enough from YouTube. We just got monetized. We'll see how that goes if we get bigger. But yeah, I'm actually a maintenance guy at a gas station. So I work on different stuff. That's my job. But hopefully I will be able to quit that in the not too distant future and focus full time on YouTube. That would be awesome. Yeah, there are some Ohio State fans that say Oral Roberts deserved that, and I would agree with that. And the guy did choke at the end of the game. Make no mistake about that. But the reactions that he's getting, man, Abilene Christian's defense is just stifling Texas right now, but got out of control again. Whenever you steal like that and you go to the other side, you cannot get out of control like that, dude. You can't do it. You have to have your control. You have to have your control. It's okay to be emotional, but when you have a fast break, that's when you have to rein it in a little bit. Make good decisions. Don't just go crazy towards the basket. You gotta have that thinking mentality. Yeah, Miles McBride is a sophomore. He'll be a junior next year, so West Virginia will have him back. That's a big key piece coming back. He has turned out to be a superstar. Big time superstar. You don't forget to hit that like button, and that helps with the YouTube algorithm to get this thing recommended and more people in here to watch basketball with us, which is what it's all about. 6.5 minutes left. Out of control shot by Abilene Christian. They are up by 3, but they are starting to make some bad decisions. But it's their defense that's saving them. I mean, they are so aggressive. Another steal by Abilene Christian. They are super, super aggressive on defense. Wow. Pitt's biggest win was against Florida State. Well, that's not bad. That's actually a good win. Not bad. Florida State was one of 2 that made it to the round of 32. Only them and Syracuse did it. Other than that, 2-5. Not good for the ACC. Not a good showing. Deep three by Abilene Christian, and he misses it. Bad decisions on offense. Everybody. That affects everybody. Extra year of eligibility because of COVID. Yes, they did that for football. And that's what I'm talking about. Abilene Christian's defense is what's helping them stay on top, but they cannot keep making bad decisions on offense. That defense can't make stops every stinking trip. You have to score points. Keep making bad decisions. Another bad decision. They'll get the ball back, but they are not disciplined on offense. They're kind of out of control and bad decision making. Defense great, offense not so much. And having said that, they are still holding on to a 1-point lead against Texas. But now they're on the offensive side of the court. 10 seconds left. They'll probably start panicking and do something stupid. I'm watching it right now. He's dribbling. He's out of control. Yep, did something stupid, and he's just trying to get rid of the ball while he's down low. They're trying to play ISO offense, and now there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. I used to play basketball. I was a point. Oh, that was a good inlet pass, though. Oh, he missed it, though. Watching this as a former basketball player, I'm not understanding what Abilene Christian is trying to do on offense. They're not setting anything up. They're just attacking and getting out of control. You can't do that. Texas grabs the lead with the three-pointer, 47-45. I'm not seeing any set plays. I'm seeing some picks, so they are doing that. But this guy right there, he's dribbling. Okay, so he made that one, but that's all they're doing is they're setting high screens and doing dribble drive. That's it. There is no other set plays. There's no ball movement, and that's why this is such a low-scoring game because Abilene's offense is out of control, but they do have a good defense, and they just stopped Texas again. So this is a very interesting game. Basically, the best way I can break this game down for you is Abilene Christian's defense, very disciplined, and it's frustrating Texas. But on the flip side, their offense is out of control and not very disciplined. They're trying to run post plays, but all they're doing is dribble and driving. That's it. And he just did it right there, and he got a foul and won. So it does work out from time to time. But for the most part, these guys are getting out of control, and they can't make good decisions when they do bail out. But that was a good move right there. He dribbled around the key, and then right before he got to the basket, he leaned in to get the contact, and then he pulled back out for the shot. So he created contact, knew he was going to get the foul, and that's when he threw up the floater and made it in. So he'll go for an and one. So that was actually pretty good. Dixon went to TCU. Jamie Dixon you're talking about. He's at TCU still, I think. Yeah, and hasn't done really anything there. Basically, the only thing the only thing that Jamie Dixon has done at TCU since he left Pitt was TCU's been frustrating from time to time, but they haven't really been any good. But they have beaten some teams they weren't supposed to. That's it, though. Not really much success. As far as horns down video, I've done plenty of those. But you better believe if Texas loses this game, and whenever they do lose, because I'm fairly certain they're not going to win the national championship. Whenever they do lose in the tournament, I will do my horns down video. So, be prepared for that. Yeah, Pitt's basketball did fall apart when Jamie Dixon left, and he was actually ran out of Pitt because of the fans. And I didn't understand that because I thought Pitt had, relatively decent success. I mean, they weren't a national powerhouse or anything like that, but they were making the tournament. They were winning the ACC. I think they were. He was there when they were in the Big East as well, so he was there for the transition. And Pitt had some success with Jamie Dixon, so I have no idea why those particular fans ran him out. And talk is Pitt. He's correct. Whenever Jamie Dixon left Pitt, I mean, it sank like a ship. So, that didn't make any sense. And I don't know if he's not connecting or if he's not recruiting very well, but ever since he went from Pitt to TCU, Jamie Dixon himself hasn't had any success. So it was a lose-lose situation for both. Pitt sank like a ship, and Jamie Dixon hasn't had that much success at all at TCU. So that was just a bad situation. I've actually did a video on my thoughts on the Texas song The Eyes of Texas. And basically I think it's a bunch of nonsense what they're trying to do as far as trying to get rid of it. So basically, to break that down is people all of a sudden, out of the blue, have an issue with the University of Texas whenever they sing The Eyes of Texas because of one incident. I believe the first time ever The Eyes of Texas was performed with some inappropriate content display. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get my live thing yanked. But if you wonder what I'm talking about, you can Google it afterwards. So the first time it was actually ever played, it was performed with some inappropriate display to it. And it happened one time, and it just so happened to be a bunch of morons that did it the first time. And ever since then, no issues. There's no bad connotation to it. There's no bad words to it. There's no history linked to it. Nothing. It was just that one, the first known performance is linked to a bad incident. That's it. So I think it's a bunch of nonsense because if you're going to do that, then like I said in the video that I made about it, you can link, if you go back far enough, you can link anything to anything. So if we start doing that, then it's going to get crazy. A lot of things are going to get banned. Like, there'll be, millions of songs disbanded because somehow throughout history it was linked to this, which was linked to that, and finally it was linked to something racial. If it doesn't have an actual racial, connotations to it, then it should be fine. I mean, you can link anything to anything. You can't just go by, we somehow linked it to something, racially motivated. Because you could literally do that with anything. So, it's brass tacks. Is it racially motivated? If the answer is no, then that's the end of the story. It's no, but we can link it. No. That's where it stops. Okay? So, I'm against racism. I don't think there's any place in society for it. But having said that, you could probably literally link anything to something racially motivated. So you ask the question up front, is this racially motivated? If it's not, that's the end of the story. Stop trying to link things. Because then you're just trying to go out of your way to start something. And that's what people are trying to do. They're trying to go out of their way to make somebody look bad. And that's where things have gotten out of control. End of story. Yeah, the Tom Herman getting fired was a ridiculous thing. He had one iffy season the year before last, but then the year before that they had a 10-win season. I think he had Texas on the right track. So I think his coaching ability mixed with his attitude, I actually think Tom Herman would be a really good fit for Miami. Because, Miami recruits based on partly their swag. And I think Tom Herman would bring his coaching swag to Miami, and Miami would benefit from it. And yeah, I agree. Politics and sports do not mix because that's when things get muddied and messy. It is ridiculous. Like I've said a million times, you could literally link anything to anything. All you have to do is ask that first question. Is this being racist right off the bat? Is it racially motivated right off the bat? If the answer is no, stop trying to link it. Stop it. All you're doing is creating issues. That is the age of society that we live in. People are looking for ways to be offended. Why? Why? You're just wanting things to get to being gotten rid of because you're looking for a way to be offended? What is the point of that? What type of satisfaction does that give you? Like, you're, oh, I'm satisfied because I'm making somebody miserable. That means you're a loser. Jeez. So this is the last game on the docket, and the winner will be playing UCLA. That would actually, if Abilene Christian does pull this off, I think UCLA is a winnable game. I didn't think Michigan State was a good game. They beat a decent BYU, but Abilene Christian might be able to get into the Sweet 16 if they can win this game. We got some players being medically attended to, but their defense has showed up. If Abilene Christian wins this, I did call it though. This is one of the upsets that I did call. So I'm kind of torn between, do I want my bracket to stay solid or do I want the Big 12 to be undefeated? Yeah, that's what I don't get about society right now. They are looking for ways to be unhappy, to be mad, to get things. Holy crap! Texas just dribbled off their foot with 1:11 seconds left. Abilene Christian is up by 4, and the dude dribbles off his foot. 22 turnovers. This is what I was talking about with Abilene Christian's. How did he get a jump ball? He barely held it. Time didn't even go off the clock. The ref's whistle was way too quick on that. That was not a jump ball. You didn't give him any time to establish possession. That was a dumb call by the refs. Dumb. Dumb. Idiot. Abilene Christian has held Texas to 47 points. What? See, this is what I'm talking about. They called walking on him, and whenever Abilene Christian has the ball, they are not disciplined. Yeah, Jamie Dixon, his alma mater was TCU, but he would have stayed at Pitt for a little longer had they not forced him out. So yeah, it was on both parts, but Pitt did force Jamie Dixon out a little bit earlier than what he would have left. But that's a good point. It was on both ends. Jamie Dixon graduated from TCU, so it wasn't exactly, a big step down for him. He went back and coached for the alma mater that he went to. So that's a good point. Yes, it was a quick whistle. So Texas was pressing. He threw the outlet. If you looked at what happened, the dude went up, caught it, came down, Texas grabbed it, and immediately the ref blew his whistle. He didn't look. There was no. You have to give them a little bit of time to establish possession, but as immediately as Texas put their hands on the ball, he called a jump ball. Texas just stuck his elbow out, and they did not call an offensive foul. So I'm starting to wonder about the whistles here at the end. And they just called a foul on the. I'm not understanding these whistles. I don't know about this last minute, guys. These refs are. Yeah, I don't know about that one. All of a sudden, they're getting really, really ticky-tacky in the last minute. I don't. So, Texas is at the free throw line, shooting 2. Makes the first one. Yeah, these down the stretch, these refs are not, their whistles not making much sense. Not sure about that one. First of all, the Texas dude stuck his elbow out. Should have been an offensive foul. They didn't call that. And then they call a foul on the dude whenever he missed the jump shot. So, yeah. Now what are they? Oh, somebody bleeding on the court. Who's bleeding? We're just watching the end of this crazy Abilene Christian Texas game. Abilene Christian up by 3 now. The refs making some questionable calls down the stretch. They called first they called a jump ball whenever Abilene Christian threw the inlet pass. Guy went up, caught it, came down. Texas put his hands on the ball, and they immediately blew the whistle without anybody trying to establish possession. Then they called a questionable traveling on Abilene Christian. And then Texas dude stuck his elbow out on the offense. No offensive foul called. And then this last foul that was called on Abilene Christian. I mean, there's a lot. 4 whistles in a row against the Wildcats that were very, very tic-tac. And the refs have not been like that the entire game. So, and now they're making the towel boys go all over the daggum court, mopping up every little spot of moisture. These refs are acting weird at the end of this game, guys. I'm not even lying. They are acting weird. Something is up. He sinks the second shot. Abilene Christian with the 2-point lead. Is Abilene Christian falling apart? Ay, ay, ay. All right, so now we're on basketball. What? Commercial break. Man, that coach for Abilene Christian looks familiar, but I looked him up and the name doesn't ring a bell. But for whatever reason, his face looks really freaking familiar. I don't know. That's strange. Alright, so we're down to the last minute. The refs are acting freaking weird. Abilene Christian with 2-point. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I do videos every day. And since March Madness is here, I'm doing live shows every day. Actually, multiple live shows because of how many. Oh, Abilene Christian moving the ball. They're moving the ball. Texas thinking about fouling them, but not really. If Abilene Christian makes this basket right here, then it would be a very, very tough situation for Texas. But There is 12 seconds left on the shot clock. 35 seconds left on in regulation. 6, 5, 4. Shot clock got out of control. What is he doing? That's what I'm talking about. The dude gets out of control for no freaking reason. You got to have more discipline than that. All right, Texas coming down the court. No shot clock on. They can either try to tie it into overtime or kick it out. Oh, he shot the three. And he drains it. He drains it. He drains it. Texas is up by 1. Wow. But Abilene Christian has 13.8 seconds left. Plenty of time. Man, that is, whenever you're up by 2, you do not let the other team get a 3 off. What are they thinking? You don't let that happen. If you got to give up a 2, fine. But you don't give up the 3. You don't do it. And if Abilene Christian goes on to lose this game, it comes down to dribble and driving out of control way too much. Great defense kept them in this ball game and gave them a chance to win, but dribble and driving out of control is what will lose this if they lose. You have to stay disciplined, in control, good decision making. I think they're getting too excited about things. Getting out of control. You can't let that happen. Oh my gosh, guys. They were in control basically the entire second half. And this last minute, combined with some questionable officiating, well, they got the ball across half court. They're getting out of control again. Bud, what are you doing? Oh, a foul. Oh my gosh, a foul. That's exactly what they did. The foul was on the putback. Wow. But even that was a questionable call that went in the favor of Abilene Christian. Why all of a sudden are these refs so ticky-tacky? I don't understand it. But maybe that dribble drive out of control kind of worked in their favor this time, because they actually drew the foul instead of bouncing it off their foot or airballing it, whatever. They actually drew a foul. Not bad. Right now we're in a timeout. I think Texas called the timeout. So high drama here. High drama. Down by 1. So he has to make one of these. One. And we could be headed to overtime. And the key thing about your foul shots is you need to, from a young age, if you're playing basketball, you need to establish a rhythm. In other words, find something that you do every stinking time exactly the same way. So you're not thinking about it. You're just going through the motion, in. Going through the motion, in. Don't change anything. Don't start thinking. Do the same motion and then in. That's it. So we'll. I think this is one of their big guys, so he's not very good from the line. He just has to sink one though. He just has to sink one, and they're going to overtime. And the lady is closing her eyes. And the Texas players are moving around, trying to get in his head. And they don't do it. He sinks the first one. He sinks the first one. Block out, block out. He sinks the second one. Oh my gosh. Clutch. Bad pass. Bad pass. It's done. Abilene Christian upsets. The eyes of the nation are now on you, Texas. The eyes of the nation are on you, and they're laughing. And I called it. Golden Blue Dude nailed this one. Booyah. Down goes Texas. Finally, a great upset that I picked actually came through. And leave it to Texas to give the Big 12 their first loss. There we go. I had a good night. Let's pencil in Abilene Christian. Second round is set. Wow. Wow. Well, the entire state of Texas won't be mad because Abilene Christian is in Texas. They're in Abilene, Texas. So there's going to be this little bitty part of Texas that's going to be super happy tonight. So congratulations, Wildcats. I called that one. I'm happy about that one. So, all right, guys. Second round starts tomorrow. Of course, I'll have some more live shows. West Virginia gets to play tomorrow. Don't forget, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Do videos every day. I can't get over this. This is crazy. I know I called it, but still, it was a long shot. D4, man, I hope you make it through. I know that's probably a tough loss. There's always next year. At least y'all made it. Y'all won the Big 12. Y'all won the Big 12 tournament, so there you go. Hang in there. See you in Morgantown, because you said you're going to that game. I'll be there, so I'll see you in Morgantown. We'll hang out and do some stuff and watch the football game. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. If you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit it. Hit that subscribe button. I do videos every day. I'm going to get off here and go to bed, guys. I'm getting tired, so I do appreciate everybody stopping by. Let me get over to my home screen. So we will see y'all tomorrow. I'm not sure how many shows I'll do, but I'll definitely do my 10 o'clock and probably one other